on men's side and I'm not on women's side. I'm on the truth side. And I can see men and I can see women. And because women have the womb and women are the mothers and they are the first teacher of the child. The fact of the matter is that the majority of the weight does lie on women. Women just don't realize it because women think that they're the same as men. Now men know because you all don't have the power that women have. And so it comes to a place where people are blinded by their privilege. Privileged people don't know.
Right. Like I said, can I do what I was about to do? Like I said, if this don't fix it, I don't know what the fuck. You need to fix your head. Damn. Alright. Fuck, my bad. Mute yourself.
That they have privileges. So the people who don't have the power that other people have, they can feel the effects. They know the differences. So women are completely blinded by the privileges they have. They're completely blinded by the power they have. And the issue comes down to women truly believe, males and females actually think alike, but in different ways. So I'll give it to you like this. So I majored in cell and molecular biology, and one of my classes was physics. And we went over Newton's laws of motion. And we all know that the third law of motion is for every reaction, there's an opposite equal reaction. Like that. So the way my physics teacher broke it down, he actually made it a little bit more detailed. And he said, if body A imposes a force on body B, body B imposes a force on body A that is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So in other words, two things clash, hit head on. The force is equal, it's the same, and it moves backwards in the opposite direction at the same magnitude. So if it travels 10 feet to the left, it's also going to travel 10 feet to the right. So what's happening with men and women are just like these vehicles. They're clashing. They're doing the exact same things to each other, and they don't realize it. Both the male and females, they approach relationships with a slave and slave owner mentality. So women actually believe that men were created to serve them. Women believe that men were put on this planet to serve and worship them and
Don't
work
get too
for
far
She don't
ahead.
try to flip it on the wind
women
too.
believe that a man
We
is
have
to
to see
go
this
to work
through.
and work
We
his
still haven't
fingers
found
to the
tails.
bone
We've been
until he
wrangling children and
dies
taking
so that
detours
she
the
can
whole
have
way.
a soft life and just ride easy.
Mm.
Women really believe it.
Are you telling me you would
But
leave
not
behind
only
someone
do they
you
believe it, the men
No,
work towards it.
but I'm also
And
worried
that's
about
where
you.
that's
You
where
can't help anyone if
men
you're stuck in
are
limbo.
frustrated at. And the reason why they're frustrated is because men are ruled by their sex
All right.
drive. A lot of men,
Hurry up and save
women
me
Low
don't
too so
level
we can
men.
understand
find
that
tails.
sex is a real need for men. To the point where women
It
Sounds
think
is.
that
simple
men
enough.
just want sex all the time. They don't understand that a lot of times it's more of a need as opposed to a want. So men find
It's a want.
themselves unconsciously chasing women, and they feel like they're being punished for
But
chasing.
it's a need on both sides. You just sat here and said it. So the fuck? So what's the
Then
point
quit
of
saying it's a need, it's a want, sir. It's a need. On your point
it?
too.
It is. But it's like this. I only I need it. It's a need and a want, man. Cause I only want it from who want to give it to. That's about it.
The point is you wouldn't go without it.
I will until I run into somebody that wants to give it to me. You see what I'm saying? I want it
If
when
we
it.
weren't talking today, there's like 3, 4, 5 people you can call in your phone that will want to give you. Want all of
Yeah,
that. So what do you mean?
it's a few. It's a
What do you
few.
mean?
It's a few
No.
exes, but that's the thing. I want it when it's given. My mentality is different. I want it when it's given to me and it's genuinely given to me. I don't want it if a motherfucker like here, just take the pussy here. No, I want you to give it to me, like serve it up on the plate. Now, when I was younger, I probably hit anything. I'm older now, different mind frame. I'm grown now. I'm not chasing nothing. I'm not gonna sit here and act like something that I ain't to get some pussy. I'm not about to shuck and jive and be
The
like
point is you need pussy.
I'm not about to sit here and shuck and jive for no coochie.
You still need pussy.
Right, but I'm gonna get it because I'm who I am, and the
Yeah.
pussy gonna come to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now she putting it in the context of motherfuckers is ruled by their lowest chakra, the red one. Like ruled by it. Now there is some men that's ruled by it to the point to where they paying women to stomp on their motherfucking balls and spit in their face. It's men paying women to do that shit. So she's not wrong, but she's speaking to the lower vibration of men when she talk. She's not talking about the ones that got sense. She talking about the niggas that's willing to crash out over some coochie that they got. Like, not acting like it's more coochie out here. You feel me? I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill everybody. Like, nigga, you have problems, nigga. It's so much coochie out here, nigga. You better get your shit together, nigga. Those niggas ain't getting
These
no, they
women,
ain't getting no
and they're
coochie.
being
They
taxed
don't
for
get
their
none.
biology. For real.
Sorry for
But
ya.
not only do they believe it, the men work towards it.
And that's where men are frustrated at. And the reason why they're frustrated is
I'm
because
frustrated.
men are ruled by their sex drive. A lot of men, women don't understand that sex is a real need for men. To the point where women think that men just want sex all the time. They don't understand that a lot of times it's more of a need as opposed to a want. So men find themselves unconsciously chasing women, and they feel like they're being punished for chasing these women, and they're being taxed for their biology. Men feel like they're being taxed for their biology. So women realize this. So this is where the men who might have access to women, this is where they start calling these men simps, because they are led by their biology, and they start to placate.
That's talking about simps. Not just trying to break it down to categories.
So men, and that's where men are frustrated at. And
men that are governed and moved by their lower extremities is simps.
Reason why they're frustrated is because men are ruled by their sex drive. A lot of men, women don't understand that sex is a real need for them, to the point where women think that men just want sex all the time. They don't understand that a lot of times it's more of a need as opposed to a want.
You want another blanket?
Men find themselves unconsciously chasing women, and they feel like they're being punished for chasing these women, and they're being taxed for their biology. Men feel like they're being taxed for their biology.
How you gonna say with
so women realize this. So this is where the men who might have access to women, this is where they start calling these men simps, because they are led by their biology, and they start to placate to the delusions of the woman and her power-hungry self. And so when a man falls for that, other men don't respect that, because it's like you not being a man and having self-control. You letting this woman manipulate your biology for that. See,
my daddy. I see it in real time. Treating this nigga wrong.
But I know what I saw.
And he bending his back. This nigga, he ain't just bending his back this way. This nigga doing a handspring back bend for this motherfucker that don't give two shits about him. I'm telling you.
A conflict with me in that. Right? So this, all I do is, like, this is my thing. I really sit down here and analyze and understand what's going on. Women don't understand the male world at all. So for me, I'm just a conduit. I can communicate the male issues to women who actually want to
you the conduit.
Can we
a year ago
talk about, let's say, the
he
top three
fuck all these niggas
that you have?
Now she the conduit.
I think
Lord
you can rotate some
the
of them.
the number one thing is the stress
Maybe they'll act like the other
that
puzzle
men
blocks and show me
have
the
to
weight of
deal
that
with
Titan.
in the world that is not the same as women.
All right.
Okay.
What's the right way
because
to do this?
women really have in their mind
Looks like there's a
that
pattern on the ground.
men are not being trained. They're just not being taught how to communicate. They're not being taught how to feel. Women really think that this is an educational difference between men and women as opposed to a neurological and biological difference. They don't understand that. So they don't understand that the male has a threshold of what he can handle and what he cannot handle. So women don't understand that they're placing an enormous amount of pressure and weight on men that exceed the capabilities of males by nature, which is part of the reason why so many males fail, because by nature, males are not social creatures. The male's nature is designed in the life to spend all his time and energy trying to build himself up to be a competitor against other men to conquer them, to win the reward of being able to pass his genes along. And as a result of that,
she talked to an
the
animalistic
male is
standpoint.
not wired to be a caretaker. He is not wired to be, quote unquote, social and family oriented. He's not wired to be monogamous. So you now take.
I don't agree. I don't agree with all that. Men can care, especially about their own lineage. You feel me? She talking about niggas like they animals and like lions, but they even care about their own. A male lion, when he take over a pride, he kill the cubs of the last one. I'm just saying. This your girl, man. Let me know when you done listening. She talking about men like they acclimated to this society that we live in. She talking about men in the most primal state. We elevated past it. She's behind the 8-ball.
By nature,
she need to catch up. She surely catching
creatures.
up. A year ago, it was fuck all these niggas, and now she got a different idea. It took her a year to go from what you heard to this here. So then next year, she gonna be like, well, these niggas have elevated beyond my idea. And she gonna have a whole new outlook here shortly. A whole new outlook.
The male, part of the reason why so many males fail, because by nature,
I'm talking about us,
males are not social creatures. The male's nature is designed in the wild to spend all his time and energy trying to build himself up to be a competitor against other men, to conquer them, to win the reward of being able to pass his genes along. And as a result of that, the male is not wired to be a caretaker. He is not wired to be, quote unquote, social and family oriented. He's not wired to be
I disagree.
So you now take this person out of a individual where he has to be really solo. You take him out of a solo, one man, every man for himself environment, and put him in a social system, and now tell him to do everything that goes against how he's wired. From thoughts, behaviors, sex, everything. It all goes against the male's nature. And then the women, because women hate self, I figured out women hate themselves and they hate other women. So because of that, because women do not have camaraderie amongst themselves, they have no loyalty amongst themselves, and they have no support amongst themselves.
So how you feel about that? That's crazy.
I want to make sure I heard it correctly.
The women, because women hate self, I figured out women hate themselves and they hate other women. So because of that, because women do not have camaraderie amongst themselves, they have no loyalty amongst themselves.
That's crazy. You see that? Being a woman?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Alright, I'm about shit.
Have no support amongst themselves. they have abandoned their relationships with their true supporters that could help them in child rearing and everything. And they look to men to replace women and take on the duties of women. That's what they're doing. And so they're trying to put so much weight on men being caretakers, helpers in the house, making all this money, competing with other men. But it's messed up because women also inhibit male development by coddling males too much, stepping in and handling conflict for males to the point where they can't integrate socially. They can't be competitors. So the male is really hindered. Then when he gets into a relationship, he's not been able to juggle all of this stuff. And since the women are narcissistic and don't know anything about males, the woman is only caring about what's good for her, what she wants. He's not doing what she wants him to do, so he's failing.
Right.
Commercial.
The tequila that invented tequila.
Right? So this is where all the conflict comes in. And the men are not going to be the ones to change this. It's going to be the women to change it. Because the male can only do so much. He has a threshold. And this is the part that women don't understand, which is the reason why I started this educational process with learning men.
Well, do you also, because I can see the value of you actually mentoring men about women. Do you happen to do that?
Yes, if they ask.
Got you, okay.
You know, because we got to understand, men don't respect women. Let's just keep it a buck, right? Men do not respect women. They don't respect the intelligence of women. And I understand to a degree.
No, you don't.
Because women are very, very...
I do.
No,
I
you
do.
don't.
No, I do.
No, you don't.
I just ain't ran into a woman. I honestly haven't ran into a woman that like I can understand. It's a balance between emotion, and it's a balance between emotion and thought. It's finding that happy medium in between. As I look at my past relationships, I done ran into some women at the time that was more mathematical, or how can I say this, less emotional in their thought process. Because when they seen me and what I had going on, they was like, I'm ready to build with this nigga right now. But yet me being not paying attention to the mathematics of the situation and being more emotional, I squandered those relationships. Like I said, I had women riding. I had females that was riding for me. Well, I had a female go to court for me and lie for me, get me on probation instead of getting felony charges. Had that. Had a female that was shit. She was willing to let me set her out. I didn't even get paid for the shit. Set her out. And niggas fucking on her. Besides me. Had one chick, she fucking kind of broke. Kind of cracked my heart. I ain't gonna say broke that motherfucker. Me and her had a little situation going on. I think if I'd have got to know her better, we'd have probably still been together. And we probably had some kids by now. She said it fucking broke her spirit to to take them pills to abort our kid. Because when she seen me, she was like, this nigga here, I'm gonna ride this out. But that, she was calculated. We was in our 20s. And she was adding it up. And she was doing math while I was being emotional at the time. So I kind of dig what she's saying. It kind of hit home what she's saying currently. I'm gonna run it back to make sure I ain't wrong.
Delusion. And they don't know much. He has a threshold. And this is the part that women don't understand, which is the reason why I started this educational process with learning men.
Well, do you also, because I can see the value of you actually mentoring men about women. Do you happen to do that?
Yes, if they ask.
Got you. Okay.
You know, because we gotta understand, men don't respect women. Let's just keep it a buck, right? Men do not respect women. They don't respect the intelligence of women, and I understand to a degree, because women are very, very delusional, and they don't know anything. You can take a woman with a PhD. She can have a medical degree. She can have money in the bank. But this woman is totally ignorant when it comes to relationships. She will fall to her emotions and still not be able to see anything clearly. And knowing that women do not understand males and what makes a male, she can't have any logical or rational feedback that can actually help a male on anything really in his life. So this is why men ultimately don't respect women, because they know that women don't know anything about them. And then on top of that, because women make terrible decisions when it comes to sex and things like that, the men can't trust them there, right? It makes sense. And then on top of that, if a man wants to knock you down and just smash you, he ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say anyway. So there's 3 layers of why men ain't listening to women. So I don't talk to men.
Right.
I don't teach men nothing unless they genuinely want my help. Otherwise, I don't got nothing to say to them, really.
Right. I was gonna say, I feel like it's a bag there to be made. I'll be honest with you. But I gotta ask you this, right? What do you see as the biggest misconception society has about women's ability to lead compared to men? Because we just had Kamala Harris, right, versus Trump. And we got a guy, you know, again, I'm just outside looking.
Or rational feedback that can,
okay,
you know, because we gotta understand, men don't respect women. Let's just keep it tender. Then when he gets into a relationship, he's not been able to juggle all of this stuff. And since the women are narcissistic and don't know anything about males, the woman is only caring about what's good for her, what she wants. He's not doing what she wants him to do, so he's failing.
Right.
Right? So this is where all the conflict comes in. And the men are not going to be the ones to change this. It's going to be the women to change it. Because the male can only do so much. He has a threshold. And this is the part that women don't understand, which is the reason why I started this educational process with learning men.
Well, do you also, because I can see the value of you actually mentoring men about women. Do you happen to do that?
Yes, if they ask.
Got you. Okay.
You know, because we gotta understand, men don't respect women. Let's just keep it a buck, right? Men do not respect women. They don't respect the intelligence of women, and I understand to a degree, because women are very, very delusional, and they don't know anything. You can take a woman with a PhD. She can have a medical degree. She can have money in the bank. But This woman is totally ignorant when it comes to relationships. She will fall to her emotions and still not be able to see anything clearly. And knowing that women do not understand males and what makes a male, she can't have any logical or rational feedback that can actually help a male on anything really in his life. So this is why men ultimately don't respect women, because they know that women don't know anything about them. And then on top of that, because women make terrible decisions when it comes to sex and things like that, the men can't trust them there, right? It makes sense. And then on top of that, if a man wants to knock you down and just smash you, he ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say anyway. So there's 3 layers of why men ain't listening to women. So I don't talk to men. I don't teach men nothing unless they genuinely want my help. Otherwise, I don't got nothing to say to them. Really.
Right. I was gonna say, I feel like it's a bag there to be made. I'll be honest with you. But I gotta ask you this, right? What do you see as the biggest misconception society has about women's ability to lead compared to men? Because we just had Kamala Harris, right, versus Trump. And we got a guy, again, I'm just outside looking in, we got a guy that's a felon that openly racist, or says racist thing, has incited a riot. Like, he's just clearly not the best candidate for the job. So how is it that, you have a black woman, quote unquote, say what you will, but she sounds more qualified. She's actually already the vice president. Like, what is the misconception about this?
I don't really think there's a misconception when you look at the state of just women, right? Now, because you got to think about this. Women don't care about male issues, and men are cracking right now. They under a whole lot of pressure, and nobody's listening to people like Jordan Peterson, the women specifically. Now the men listening to them, but you got Jordan Peterson out here saying stuff. You got Scott Galloway out here saying things. And these are all men's issues where men are on the brink of, just blowing up. And women they don't care. As a matter of fact, the women are doing things that are triggering these men to make things worse. And it's like nobody's hearing these males' issues. So men, as they see that women don't care about what's going on with them, and they steady pushing these philosophies, messing up the children, these different sexualities and all this, they see it as being illogical, which a lot of it is, right? And the women can't see clearly. The women can't even handle their own lives. They can't make good decisions for their own lives, let alone a country, okay? Then you have ratchet 304 type women endorsing. That was a big mistake. Why are you getting entertainers, these types of entertainers at that, right, to speak to the demographic? That tells you the mentality of the demographic that you're appealing to, which the average person sees as delusional, reckless, and the problem in society. Do you think they're going to vote? That is you know what I mean?
That's a good point. And I even heard like a podcast where some black men felt that it was almost disgraceful. Like this is what you think of us. That This is what you have to go do to get the black vote. Versus just speaking to us like human beings.
Because it is disrespectful. Because at the end of the day, just check out all of the presidents that wanted to appeal to black folks, and what did they do? It was all entertainment. Why did they like Clinton? Because Clinton was smoking weed and playing the saxophone, and he was getting head in the office. hot sauce in my bag swag. Bam. That's all you gotta do. And so now you get this woman, when we are in a new age and things are getting really bad, and you up against Donald Trump, a white man, listen, you're gonna have to really show because at the end of the day, a man is a man, and they will choose a man before they choose a woman, especially when you keep showing that you have no logic and no rationale behind what you're doing, because the things that the people are having a problem with, you're showing to be exacerbating them. You're showing that you're going to make this even worse. So now it's a lesser of two evils thing. And they'll rather go with what they know as opposed to going with something that they see is going to take them down the path they already are complaining about. They don't want to go down.
That's deep. Yeah, this whole election was strange. Do you think now that Trump is president, right? We just got to accept it. I don't know what side you land on. I'm not going to ask you that. But now that we're here, do you think anything will change, right, for you specifically? Because it does seem like he does have, you see him talk about the abortions. You see him talk about deporting. Like, he's just very straightforward and almost scary in a sense that if you're on the other side.
Well, see, for me, because I understand that, when it comes to government and politics, you got layers. The most influence you ever want.
Three, two, one, go! Baker is back with vengeance. There to face the most dramatic and unpredictable twists ever.
Love Island together.
I feel like I'm a chaperone.
I want Survivor. Actually, it's called later. I want
Poverty games the trunk of men and squeezes them until they die.
I'm the greatest Australians at one level. I think I'm the common.
everyone that wins Survivor is insanely intelligent.
Welcome, Dr. Will.
I'm the best Big Brother player. Lie, mislead, go. That's my strategy.
Will was the last one of this group.
Peasants run. The king doesn't run.
Chaos or do or don't you?
Every single person is a doctor. I come back. She goes to protection of this.
I've been drinking everything. You just said you would take her head off.
I'm gonna do my best and then I'm gonna get rid of Nunya.
You getting rid of what?
Nunya.
Nunya?
Yeah. Nunya doing business.
You want nothing but a cheat with a flat out baby.
Every treasure I need one.
Switch you.
Anyone who ever won in the history
On a mission. So Joe says, deal or no deal?
banker. What she next.
Now that I'm actually graduating, it's scary. I'm kind of like, I wish I could stay in high school.
What if it doesn't work out? What if something goes wrong? What if?
And nothing.
as in your local political level, right? So the grassroots is where all of the power and the change really happen. It's not so far away like that. So people concerned about this abortion thing. Okay. The part that I see the problem with is if you're not making exceptions for incest, rape, and all this, you're giving men a pass to do whatever they want to do with no consequence. That's on one side of the equation. But on the other side of the equation, which is where I've been teaching, I'm teaching you the nature of men. And I done showed you what men are about. So the onus is on you to close your legs. But see, women have a problem where they want to be whores. I'm coming to see. I see why men think the way they think about women. Women want to be whores. They want to be sexually reckless. They want to do this. Nobody has to beg them. Nobody has to force them. They're wanting to do this. Because, and this is what I don't want to do. Understand? Women are out here saying that, oh, you need to trick on me, you need to take me, and you need to spend this money. And I'm coming to realize, wait a minute, hold on. Ma'am, you want to screw him more than he wants to screw you. You can't wait to give up the box. You have a million reasons why you have sex. You jump from penis to penis just because you want to get revenge. Your way of getting revenge is to sleep with a man for free, another one. Your way of getting to try to prove that you're better than another woman is to sleep with a man, to have sex. Your language is sex. If you want to take a flight, you have sex. If you want to get a promotion, you have sex. If you want to feel loved, you have sex. If you want attention, you have sex. But you want somebody to pay you for sex. No. The cost for sex is attention. That's all you need, is attention and penis. Because if you tell a woman to close her legs and stop having sex, she'll act like you're trying to kill her. So the question now becomes, is why do you want to get paid for sex when that's all you want to do? That's how you communicate, through sex. Because this abortion thing, outside of the stuff that I already been saying, this abortion thing wouldn't really be messing with you if you didn't want to have sex. If sex didn't rule your life. So now this is they're upset because they can't do what they want to do and now be held accountable and responsible for their life. Because see, women get to evade consequence. Women get to throw stones and hide their hand and then point the finger at men for everything. Women do not want to be held accountable. See, now this ain't never been me. Because see, I'm ex-military. I've been on my own practically all my life. So this accountability thing, this ain't never been no issue for me. I didn't realize it was really this big of an issue for women. But women do. Throw stones and hide their hand. And they get to evade consequence by blaming it on men. They get to get out of pregnancies. And it's so funny because women want to say that that birth control should be made for men. And I'm like, no, birth control was made for the right gender. Because see, that's your woman. You got the power to say no. But no, you want to have sex as recklessly as you want to. And that's not even your nature as a woman. That's the thing. See, the nature of a male is sex. His whole existence, biologically, is to fight to get opportunity to pass his DNA across as many females as possible. That's his whole life goal in the biological. The life goal of a female is not that. A female don't have to do all of that to get no sex, to pass her job. Her job is to pick quality. So she's supposed to be turning down most men, and she don't supposed to be open all season like that.